Hey guys, I know it's been a minute. I've been having to deal with a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna try to get this new series up and working now that I know how to do a little bit more with editing. So let's just hop into it. Fight or flight is something that's always been with us since like the dawn of humankind. We've always had it. Like think about it. Like cavemen back then probably wouldn't be alive. They wouldn't last as long as they did without it. It's just a natural safety net to protect us from the treacherous times that they had to live through. Well, let's just say you've never experienced it, right? You've never seen someone experience it, you've never seen it, nothing, right? But you want to know what it is. I can break it down to you in three quick, easy steps. Number one is alarm. Being alarmed is basically having that feeling of being startled or getting that spider sense tingling, you know what I mean? Stress levels start to go on a exponential high. It really starts to ramp up. It's where you see something and your body naturally raises your stress level to start protecting itself, getting your body prepped to do an action. Something you see may also trigger this alarm state within you. It may be something you're scared of, something that you fully don't understand, or something that you see but is in the far peripheral of your vision and it slightly alters. This can also put you in the alarm state. One last thing too. Your environment has a huge impact on how you even get into that alarm phase. Because right now, what are you doing? Chilling out, watching some banger Traewatch content, or you might have me in the back. You might be playing 2K right now, going crazy, right? But you don't feel stressed. You don't feel uneasy. You don't feel none of that. But now, let's say you were in the deep, dark forest, deep in the forest, right? You'll probably have those feelings then. No Traewatch, no phone, no urban lights, no none of that. You don't know what's happening. You're scared. You don't know what's in the dark. You're jumping at every little thing. And you might wonder why you're jumping at that. You might wonder. Well, it's because you're already stressed. And the main thing about the alarm phase is to get your stress levels higher. So you're already priming your body to increase it further when you're already stressed. It's simple like that. Talking about simple, I mean, the next step is the reason why prank wars, jump scare videos, FNAF games, scary jump scare games, they were so big because of this step right here. Resistance and fight or flight, and they're all happening at the same time. Resistance is something that's happening in the background, so you can't really see, but you can feel it, right? You can feel it within yourself that's happening. It's where your body starts it just raises the metabolic levels because it knows that it's reaching the maximum stress limit, where it's like, okay, I don't think we can take that. I don't like that too much. I don't like this feeling too much. So it increases the level to hopefully get rid of the stress as quick as it can. And at the end of it, this is where it starts to drop down your stress levels, but you're still in that feeling, right? Other hand, this is where you have a split choice decision. If you ever played a Telltale game, you know this is where the camera is spaced out from the player, and you get those two signs on the left. You choose this, you choose that, either or, right? On the left, you choose fight. You go at your opposition for the intent to neutralize it and, get it out the way. On the right, you have run. Run away for safety, run to your safety, I guess. But those are the only two options that you really have in that moment, making it fight or flight. And fight or flight isn't something that you necessarily have, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this one. This one feels normal. No. Fight or flight, that action takes place in mere seconds. Mere seconds. So it's something that you naturally feel like doing. It's like your primal instinct of doing. You don't have a conscious choice. I mean, you do, but you have to really make that in seconds. But it's usually your primal instincts that make you choose either or. And don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful mechanism, but we also choose the wrong decisions at the wrong times. Let's say, you're scared, you're playing a scary game, and You know, your stress is already at a max. You are scared beyond belief, right? And then you start to play, boom, you get jump scared, right? If you choose fight in that moment, you will be targeting that the game you're playing. And the game you're playing, it's on a monitor. If you attack your monitor, there's a good chance there's gonna be damage. Am I saying it's the wrong choice? Not necessarily, but was it an expensive choice? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's give one for flight. Let's give example for flight, right? You're out with your friends, you're in these beautiful caves, so wonderful, and it's nighttime, you get your headlamps on, and for some reason your headlamp stops working, right? You're confused, you're dazed, you don't know what's happening right now. You're confused, right? And you look around, you hear the water dripping, you start becoming more aware of your surroundings, you forget about your friends because you're just thinking, how are we gonna get out? How am I? Me, myself, I. How am I gonna get out? And then you hear something, a big noise right in front of you, drop down, right? And you run. You can't see a single thing, it's just pitch black cave. Your friend's telling you, wait, but you're already in that flight motion. You can't see, you run, fall down a cliff, hurt yourself, and let's say you broke a leg. That could also be a bad choice. I mean, would the best thing would be fighting? Not necessarily, because you didn't know what you were fighting. But running, you didn't know where you were going. So sometimes it's a bad choice to make. Sometimes it's the best out of the worst options, you know what I mean? And this is where you enter into your last, final stage of the procedure. Exhaustion. Exhaustion is where you already ran, you fought, you already went through that task, right? Your body is already coming down, it's probably 75% done with getting your stress back to normal or back to what is usually at. And you're fully starting to get, the realization of what happened, what is happening, your surroundings, who's around you. And you really, you don't get tired, but you get just a little fatigue. And if you've ever seen someone experience it, they're usually huffing, usually puffing like the big bad wolf, finna blow the house down. And it's just a confirmation that you've already went through all the steps, you completed it, and you can go back to your normal life or go back to whatever you were doing prior to it, right? And this process can happen multiple times within multiple seconds. And is it healthy for your body? Not at all. Dropping in stress to increasing it to its max, to dropping it again, to increasing it. It's just not healthy, So usually you want to stay clear of anything like that. Tip number 1, don't be scared. Tip number 2, don't be scared. Tip number 3, I'll probably say try not to be scared. And if you still don't fully understand what it is, well, I try my best, but let me give you some visual demonstrations.
Chelsea, behind you.
So let's review the tapes. Let's rewind, right? So we look at screenshot number 1, we'll see that she's unsuspecting of anything that's happening. She's in her neutral state, right? Just chilling out. Then we look at screenshot number 2, right? She gets alerted by whoever's behind the camera, gets alerted by her, and at this point she knows that something's up, She can feel the presence behind her, and she knows that this isn't really natural. Instantly in her alarm state. Now if we look at screenshot number 3, this is where resistance is happening in the background at the same time where she chose to go down the fight pathway. She took down her opponent and neutralized the threat, and later on went through exhaustion. Now we need to start looking at a flight response, like something like this.
What are you doing? I'm just trying to
Alright, now in this case, flight was taken as a measure to get away, but he really didn't have the space to fully escape. You know, flight isn't always a get out, dart out, you're gone, Usain Bolt. Flight could just be a little step back, just away from the situation, and you can just be stunned, right? Well, you know, let's review the play at hand. Screenshot number 1. You know, he's with his colleague. They're working on some electrical circuit in the wall, probably the light switch. And you know, he's just being that good friend, has his food in his hand, and has a light on it. Unsuspecting, neutral state. Screenshot number 2. Scared out of his mind. His friend jump scared him, doesn't know what to do. He wants to run, but his body's frozen, so he's picked the run option, flight option, but he just didn't fully go. He didn't fully sprint. What made him stay there? Probably just scared with fear. Why? Probably his friend was gone. He picked the flight option because that's just who he is. Screenshot number 3, well, he realizes it. The exhaustion has worn off of the initial flight or flight response, and he's back to normal. He fully understands what's happening. He's back to his normal emotion. He goes on to proceed to put the same banana he was eating into his colleague's face as a friendly gesture of please do not do that ever again. And you know, since you've seen the fight and the flight response, I'm gonna let you just see these last 3 clips, and you decide if it was a fight or if it was a flight all along.
Nah, probably.
Sabe começar bem, velho? Ei, ei. Ai, não
Alright, to tell you guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully you got the full understanding of fight or flight. You know how it works. Let you see some examples, you know what I mean, kind of fire. And hopefully you have an awesome night, awesome morning, and an awesome day. Also, one last thing, Big Nate is way better than Diary of the Wimpy Kid.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
You know I'm playing Diary of the Wimpy Kid on top.